Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the 1K World Cup quarterfinals. We're back once again with another very exciting matchup for you here today. It is going to be Germany going up against Canada, at least 99% of them, in a loser's bracket showdown. Both these teams fighting for their tournament lives, looking to try and make it through this best-of-9 showdown. As always, my name is Sparky, and I'm joined in the commentary booth by none other than Teezel. Teezel, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Very excited to see this match. Both of these are pretty exciting teams, I would say. Germany, a team that, you know, kind of going into your qualifiers and that, people probably thought would do better than they actually seeded. But, you know, especially like having a player such as Punish on the team, 4th place player in Joke 3, captaining that team, I think they've got a really good kind of hold there and kind of scaling up through the pools. 99% Canadian as well, though, is a team that I think most people honestly didn't even expect to qualify. Kind of, you know, it's the B team for Canada, but it ended up being the complete opposite way. And you know, they're still going on, losers bracket quarterfinals, and a decent chance of getting through into the semifinals as well. So only time will tell which one of these teams remains in the tournament, and both of them seem like really good candidates to be that team. So over the next couple of matches, we'll see how things go.
Yeah, absolutely. These are two heavy hitters, as you mentioned. Punish, captaining Germany, mainstay in the 1K scene, hyper accurate when it comes to Rice, able to handle a lot of the speed picks, a SV enthusiast, basically the whole package when it comes to 1K play, and bringing along basically the rest of ERA and that no-name boy along for the ride. It's very interesting to see them in this position, but I think that first round matchup really didn't do them very many favors. As we get into the first warm-up here, looks like it is Canada's warm-up to start things off, just based by who mapped this.
Yeah, it must be. I've never seen this map before.
Yeah, I imagine this was made during this week, maybe in the last couple of hours. Not the longest thing in the world, but...
It's OD0, HP0, and 8 stars.
Normal. completely normal. To be fair, judging by the fact that this is probably Sunny's map, not usually want to go into like these absurd gimmick type charts for warm-ups. They usually try to map to what they're hearing, as opposed to other folks that try their hand at 1K mapping. So I'm pretty sure this is probably like an actual 8-star map. Maybe just the streams get a little elongated here, and we can see the BPM starting to really kick off. So
oh yeah, yeah. This is looking a bit more akin to 8-star. But we're gonna need the BPM to go a bit higher, I think.
There we go.
There we go. Even catching out Punish, one of our famed speed players.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you don't know what snap you're hitting. Oh, never mind. I take back everything I said about Sunny's mapping style. Okay, they've delved into the funny juice when it comes to, oh dear lord, when it comes to mapping. Yeah, the fact that Punish and Sunny both have 93% accuracy at the end of that also.
That's insane.
Kind of absurd. The accuracy, fantastic. I think all the misses came from just those insane bursts at the end.
I think so, yeah.
So this should actually bode very well for both these teams, at least in terms of having a solid anchor for this match.
Yeah, for what kind of warm-up that was, it was a very similar outcome for both teams. Canada did just come out on top of that one, but that was also their own warm-up. I wonder how many times they practiced that.
I'm willing to say at least once. They gotta test it to make sure it's timed right.
True.
But for right now, I think Germany does have a warm-up here, so Punish taking a second to grab that and send it to our wonderful referee to load up here so we can get into it, and then we can get into the roles, bans, and that all-important first pick. And it's very interesting, judging by the map pool. It's a very Joke 3 heavy map pool this weekend. So
yeah, quite a difference compared to the previous pools that we've seen so far, which very much contained a lot of like original Joke maps.
Yeah, that being said, there is, I think, 1 or 2 that snuck in here, so we will have some maps that have like that elevated OD 9.5, OD 9 silliness, but honestly, outside of that, everything else is just like naturally hard. Like you have this hybrid pool that is absolutely absurd in terms of its difficulty compared to the rest of the pool, arguably. Some of the most technically demanding picks we've had so far this tournament. It's nice to see an SV pick that is actually viable and difficult in its own right, not just a coin flip.
Absolutely.
And it would be very interesting to see if either of these teams actually ban it, because I know Dimples and Sunny both enjoy learning SV. I think Dimples really rode on SV during their time in Joke. And Punish, of course, loves learning SV charts. So if they have a second person to back them up on that pick, that could be very interesting to see.
Would be
stick around.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be very nice to actually kind of see it on the stream itself. But yeah, our warm-up from Germany is going to be Hug and Kill from the Grand Finals of Joke 3.
Yeah, this very much feels like a Punish pick. I mean, to be fair, with how the wheel has been treating the map pool, this could very well end up in one of the late game map pools if Jaye so chooses to at least include it in the wheel.
Oh, I think he would include this in the wheel. Only in Grand Finals, though. Bringing this any earlier into the tournament would be a disaster.
Just put it in semis. What's the worst that could happen? Everything.
Because we need to consider as well, it's who players from each team need to be able to play these maps.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is kind of designed around 1v1, so that adds a whole new dynamic to everything as well.
For sure, and I think that point really explains a lot about how Canada and Germany are in this situation, in this lower bracket, where it's like you have these individual really good players on both these countries. It's just getting that second person to kind of back you up and go along for the ride kind of throws a bit of a spanner in the works, and can really lead to some interesting outcomes. So whoever comes out of this one, I think has a pretty favorable matchup going into next weekend. I'd have to check the bracket as to who they could potentially go up against, but honestly, probably the worst matchups in the winners bracket are behind them, and they can turn their attention forward to something a little bit more manageable. This is probably the last of the difficult matchups, the fact that these two have to go up against each other this early on.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, kind of next week, with the step-ups that we've been seeing each pool, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another really difficult step-up going to the semi-finals. So, yeah, like, both of these are teams that I definitely think have great potential, kind of scaling up with the pools as well, as I said earlier. So, I think if they can make it there, then like they're not going to immediately fall off. So, I think they have a good chance if they can make it there, of course.
Absolutely. Very inclined to agree with you there. But with that being said, we make it through the halfway point of this map so far, and of course, Punish being as good as they are, I mean, they have finished either on the podium or close to the podium in the last two iterations of this, the 1v1 portion of this tournament in Joke. So they're very familiar with this map, and everybody else actually holding up fairly well. I'm pretty sure on a sight read, for everybody else, maybe Dimples looked around at this map, but I think they were already out of Joke 3 by the time they reached, actually no, Grand Finals. There's only 3 people, so it was what? Ham, Grape Tea, and HZ? 404?
Yes,
only 3 players needed to learn this map. So, yeah, probably start reaching the rest of them. And like I said, holding up pretty well. This is a very difficult map. The bursts are ridiculous. Very much out of the realm of what they'll be playing very shortly. That being said, maybe a precursor of what is to come for these later map pools. So if they're able to handle this, they should be fine for semis, whoever comes out of this matchup.
So I have consulted the crystal ball, and the winner of this match will be going against the loser of match 13, which is either Japan or United States B, which I think you can probably tell us a bit more about.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, that's gonna be us. So I actually need to pay attention to this match then.
Seems like it.
Cause yeah, going up against Japan, good luck. I'll tell myself good luck. We need to catch them sleeping, but I think even then.
We have a very wide array of ranks here. An S rank from Punish, an A from Sunny, a B from Dimples, and a C from that no-name boy.
Very rare sight overall. I think that's the first time I've ever seen 4 different grades on one screen before. That's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like you'll probably never kind of see that in Mania. Everyone's just too good at that game.
Yeah. And as we get the rolls out of the way, Sunny rolls a 25 punish with the 41. So Germany does win the roll. Canada will be banning first. And if I were to harken a guess, I think just for Canada's sake, maybe getting rid of the speed pick might be...
I think it's gotta be the speed, yeah.
Just because of the proficiency on the other side. Oh, it's gonna be the SV ban. Also really good. In the context of knowing your opponent, you probably don't want to let Germany play SV if you can avoid it. And Sunny highlighting it, not trusting Punish. Punish probably can swing a 990k on this on a good day. So
for sure, yeah.
That is definitely a respect ban. And Germany up to ban now.
It's a shame to see that ban, but it is what it is. Germany have a pretty open board here though, whatever they can ban. I feel like they're in a position where they can probably just ban whatever their weakness is rather than targeting banning Canada's strength.
Right. That's probably the best course of action. And it's going to be LN1, so arguably the easier of the 2 LNs, at least in terms of technicality, but that elevated OD definitely a little bit of a pain point, so probably just not feeling the consistency on it, or just wanting to limit some potential quote-unquote easy options for Canada. And with that being said, Germany up to pick first here. What do they go into?
Yeah, it does interestingly leave Hot Chocolate open though in the LN category, which for the most part is a pretty fine map, except for a really heavy doublet section in the middle, which is with LNs mixed in, which can be very, very confusing and very easy to trip up on.
Absolutely. So, with Germany up to pick, I feel like they're going to want to stick with these rice picks and keep the speed in their back pocket to go into potentially later. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just started off with like something simple, something like Angel Dust to get things going. Just a straightforward stream pick. Just hack your way through it, mine the 1/8 bursts here and there, and get a nice potential first point in this pick. But if they really want to go spicy, Rice 4 is on the table.
True. Alternatively, you could leave your stream pick for later on in the match and hope that your opponent is a bit more tired than you are. Hope they start dropping the accuracy and start playing it just a bit too slow towards the end of the match.
Yeah, but it's going to be energy inflation to start things off here. So going into the hybrid pool, definitely not what I was expecting for a first pick, but I can respect it. It is probably the, dare I say, easiest of the 3 hybrids. Still very technically demanding in its own right, but it being one of the few Joke 2 picks, potentially less familiar for Canada in terms of overall structure.
Yeah, I can agree with you there that it's probably the easiest of the hybrid maps. Still has its own difficulty in its own right, but it's just like the map that it just has the least kind of crazy stuff going on. It's just a lot more of like a standard map with just a mix of elements.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a nice way to kind of get settled into the match groove and not really put too much pressure or reveal your hand too much in terms of stuff that we may presume they would have wanted to go into. Maybe they're wanting Canada to kind of pick those rice picks for them and maybe breakpoint on them as an alternative to actually going into them. But that's all speculation for a later day. We are now officially into the first map of this best of 9. It is going to be Punish and Dat No Name Boy going up against Sunny and Dimple's Army on Hybrid 2. Let's see who comes out on top in this matchup.
Here we go. Dat No Name Boy with the early miss. The accuracy drop as well, giving Canada an early lead, but nothing too big.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to quickly devolve into a bit of a top half versus bottom half kind of battle where you have Punish and Sunny, who are both pretty well versed in 1K already. Despite Sunny not participating in Joke, they have taken a particular liking to this game mode, so they have been dedicating quite a bit of time to it. Now, of course, Punish not needing any introduction to this. We know what they are capable of. So it really is going to come down to Sunny keeping Punish in check, and Dimple's Army being good support, trying to keep that no-name boy in check in terms of their score. But with that early miss, Canada kind of riding this cushion to a tune of about 17,000 points, give or take a couple thousand, as the accuracy starts to fluctuate because of the fact that Punish has such a high accuracy, but that no-name boy finding yet another drop, not able to reestablish the combo, going to give Canada a bit more of a cushion to work with going into the second half of this map.
Yeah, Dimple's Army looking very, very strong in that bottom section of this screen here. Dat No Name Boy still doing really well, bringing the accuracy back up over 98. Just some unfortunate drops on the top half of the screen. No, Punish still ahead of Sunny. Sunny ready to pick up on any mistakes that Punish does though, but another combo reset from Dat No Name Boy is going to make things look really good for Canada here on Germany's pick. 60,000 score lead, but Sunny does miss. They're going to need a lot more misses from the side of Germany if they're going to be... no, we're going to need more misses from the side of Canada if Germany are going to be able to take this one and take their first pick here. Yeah, but there's not very much map left.
Quickly approaching this ending, about an eighth of the chart left to go, a couple seconds. But all the major tricks up this map sleeve are officially over. No more real crazy bursts. One transition for the road at the end, catches Dimples out, gonna ruin the remaining FC for Canada, but it is enough to see them over the line for this first break point in this match to make it 0-1 to kick things off here.
Yeah, this is a really great situation for Canada already, especially as it's first to 5 still. So getting that break point nice and early, incredibly strong position, and we're going back over to their pick, hoping to take this to 2-0. That does mean that Germany is going to have to find a breakpoint off of Canada somewhere this match as well, and hopefully not too late.
For sure, but I mean, even though the result didn't go their way, Punish 994K V1SS just casually in the corner, MVPing the map, just showing off that level of consistency that we've known them for throughout this series. But as it stands, Canada picking up that first point does open up the map pool just a little bit for them, and they're going to opt to stay with these hybrids, going to go into quality control, so starting to ramp up the difficulty a little bit and see if they can maybe push their luck, maybe sensing a little bit of weakness in this German roster on these hybrids. Wonder if we're going to see any substitutions from their side to kind of mix things up a little bit.
Yeah, so sticking with the hybrid, stepping up a notch. Still nothing too crazy. Kind of a shorter map as well, just 2 minutes. 175 BPM, OD 5.5, pretty standard stuff. Kind of very appropriate map for this kind of difficulty here. And we do see Arachium come in for Germany. Looks like we should be getting into this map fairly soon. Now, will Canada win their first pick here, or will Germany manage to take the breakpoint back? Tie this up 1-1.
Only time will tell, but now we have the substitution from Germany bringing in Eraseum, like you mentioned. Could potentially shift the dynamic, maybe lulling Canada into a false sense of security. And everybody going with Mirror.
Alright,
you love
so
to see it.
we're going to be playing the chart backwards. Every lane is flipped. So it can have a bit of advantage for one hand over another. Just depends what hand is your stronger one.
What if it was, instead of vertically flipped, it was just horizontally flipped? You don't use your hands, you just pound the keyboard with your feet.
I'm sure there's people out there that would probably do that.
Probably. You get a good foot pedal, you'll probably really pick up some speed.
For sure.
But
and there we go. Everyone's backwards.
Everyone's backwards. We got the Australia moment going on here on the playfield as we make our way into the second third of the chart. And while all that was going on, Eraseum actually picking up quite a number of misses through this introduction, missing on that 1LN transitioning into the first drop. Dimples trades one of those back, but Canada already nursing a 100,000 point lead with the FC from Sunny, going up against Punish, who doesn't have the immaculate accuracy at the moment, does pick up a couple of 200s, but still able to keep themselves ahead of the rest of the lobby. A full combo reset on the side of Canada, and continuing to trade between Eraseum and Dimples does put a tiny bit of a dent, but overall the trades are going in favor of Canada at the moment, going into the last third of the chart here.
Yeah, Punish holding on incredibly well, building up the accuracy too. You know, bunch of misses from both Sunny and Dimples Army, but just too many misses coming from Eraseum, unfortunately, meaning that Germany is at a 170,000 point deficit here on Canada's pick. And there's only a bit of map left to go. This is a fairly short one. You never want to call it too early in case a player disconnects or something, but this is looking really great for Canada.
Yeah, 2 for 2 on the hybrid so far. Yes, maybe individual performances might feel like they could have done a little bit better, but ultimately at the end of the day, as long as your score is higher than your opponent's, that is all that matters. Punish, the only person with the surviving FC.
It's an incredibly good score as well. Only seven 200s. And a really, really strong ratio as well, 987k overall. And both players inside of Canada with over 900k, so looking pretty good as a team altogether. Eraseum struggling a bit on that one, but giving it their all, and that's what counts.
Absolutely. Getting thrown into the fire here on one of the harder hybrid picks. Not something you want to get thrown into, but it is the cross they must bear sometimes. But with that being said, Canada 2 to the good at the moment. Germany looking to try and notch their first point on the board. The hybrid experiment didn't work out in their favor. Could we see the jump back up to the top half of the map pool? If they wanted to go for something a little bit easier, I said Angel Dust to start things off. That is, I mean, the stream pick, it's 50-50. Either it's easy for you because you have the stamina to maintain the consistent BPM and mine the 1/8s. But it can also be really hard because of that stamina component. You're going for about 3 upwards to about 4 minutes, and it does wear away at you. There are other options. Masamune and Dopamine are both really good options on this rice pool for something just a little bit easier to read through.
Yeah, Masamune kind of also brings in a bit of mix snapping as well, of course, that infamous intro stream that slows down as it goes on. But there's also a bunch of 1-3 kind of mixed in as well to kind of bring in the accuracy game into it all. So it could be a decent pick as well, especially as we know that Punish is a really good accuracy player, so maybe it could be a decent pick for Germany. But oh yeah, there we go. They're gonna go for it.
Yeah, we spent all this time building it up. It's definitely the lesser of all evils in terms of it's not straightforward like Angel Dust, but it's not as freeform as something like Ghost. It's kind of like that happy medium. You have the technical aspects, but ultimately it's just, can you maintain the consistency through the 1-4 to 1-3 transitions? There's some swing patterns thrown into the middle of this, and like you mentioned, that introduction is just such a pain point if you're not ready, because that slowdown is so abrupt, so sudden, that if you started off on the wrong foot, you're just completely out of sorts. You just get wrong-footed immediately.
Yeah, and it tanks a lot score. But unfortunately, overall, this map isn't too dense either. You know, in comparison to some of the other ice maps that we have. So, yeah, I think this is a good pick here from Germany.
Yeah, just something that they can really show off what they're made of on, because we know that they can swing some of these good team performances. It's just a matter of putting it all together, keeping those misses to a minimum. We see Verdun check in for Canada, gonna give Dimples a bit of a break. I think they're more comfortable with these Allen hybrid picks by comparison. Sunny really pulling the anchor work for their team, basically having to be the jack of all trades. And as we get into this introduction, do we see anybody slip up? That No Name Boy starts it off on the wrong foot, but very importantly holds on to the combo. We'll be interested to see how it builds up as this map progresses.
Yeah, and that's, you know, relatively that's only a couple of 200s in that overall. So if another player on the side of Canada picks up some misses on a later on section of the map, just like that, but unfortunately the trade. That's the kind of thing that we were looking for though. Just the swing sliding back over to the side of Germany. There's only 16,000 points.
Yeah, there are windows of opportunity for Germany to capitalize. Verdun finds yet another drop here, but again, the only person that has missed on the side of Canada, so not going to do too much damage in terms of accuracy, but that one is! Sunny finds a pretty significant drop, falling about a full 1.5%, and it is going to give Germany the lead to work with. I think their first one of this match so far, 18,000 points. As we continue on, transitioning into a tiny bit of a break section, some of these snaps do get a little bit awkward, catching out that No Name Boy. As we make our way into the back half of the chart now, and it is all to play for Germany. Sunny finding yet another drop, and it's going to help extend this lead because of the fact that Punish has such high accuracy, 99.9. Going to start dragging this lead over their way as Verdun falls as well. No combo to speak of for Canada at the moment. As we continue on here, 30,000 points to the good. The cushion, massive for Germany to work with on this final third.
Yeah, things are looking really, really strong for them here. Verdun with another combo drop. Sunny doing alright, but still below in that combo. A triple break. Era Punish still the only player holding onto that combo. And a quarter of the map left to go. That score is extending even further in favor of Germany. Still over 60,000 points. This could be it. This could be their point that they're looking for on the board. It is on their pick, but it's the start of something. We've got one more KI section left to go.
As we continue on, window of opportunity has officially closed. 86,000 points, a little bit too much of an ask for a comeback, but as the last couple of notes rain down, it was the panacea that Germany was looking for. An immaculate performance from Punish. Once again, 47,300s, 997k, just putting the team on their back. That No Name Boy able to lend enough support to see them over the line as well. Cannot go unsaid. Sunny and Verdun not able to withstand that map as Germany notches their first point on the board, and it is 1-2 now. And I think that's a PB from Punish, judging by their reaction.
Seems like it, yeah. And a very, very good one at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really great score all round. So I believe that means we're back over to Canada now. And that just means that Germany are going to have to look to steal the point away from them here.
I mean, honestly,
they're really looking to tie this back up.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, for Canada, the road's actually a little bit murkier for them because they're going to run out of picks eventually. They're going to go for Hot Chocolate. That's the most logical pick for them in this pool. I think Step by Step is maybe a bridge too far, maybe a last resort kind of pick because of the fact that it is the hardest of the hybrids in that section of the pool. But might need to go into it considering the results from the first two hybrids might give them a bit more confidence, but remains to be seen. Germany does have the rest of the rice pool and that speed pick to work with, so 4 for them, 2 for Canada in terms of maybe quote-unquote comfortable picks.
Yeah. So I have to see how this goes. It might just become a bit of trading back and forth, and then we'll see how they go. Alright, we've got our players in. We have Arakium back in for Germany and Verdon here staying in for Canada. This is a bit of a longer map, coming in at almost 3 minutes. The majority of the map is fairly comfortable, decently easy, mostly just about your release timings and keeping your ratio high. Except for that one doublet section in the middle of the map. That is where we're really gonna I think that's the section where we'll kind of truly determine which team is gonna be winning this map.
Yeah, for sure. That's really the only real pain section. I know Turbo last week, the pain point was at the very beginning, that 9-lit. This one kind of drags you along for a little bit. Very straightforward 1/4 style of map. You can kind of settle in the groove. A couple of mismatched 1/4 streams, even notes, odd amount of notes. But that doublet section, I expect things to really pop off at that point.
We've got to get there first. We have a decently chilled out intro section to this song before we get to our first PI.
Oh, and Verdun and Eraseum finding the trades between each other. Verdun faring a little bit worse for wear in terms of accuracy through that section, so it does give Germany a tiny bit of a cushion. But Eraseum starting to pick up a couple of 100s, but Verdun finding another drop. No harm, no foul at the end of the day, as Eraseum begins their climb back up to that 400 combo cap to kind of stem some of the points loss at this point. Sunny finding their accuracy drop, was at 99.7, down into the low 99% range. Still holding on to the FC though against Punish, but I mean, Punish, the epitome of consistency so far. 99.7 for them as Eraseum finds the drop in this bit of a break section, and here comes the double is right after this. And Eraseum finding the drops. Not able to hang on, but Verdun starts trading them back. It's 3,000 points between the two teams.
Both Punish and Sunny
falls as well.
There it is. The difference is not as big as I thought it would be. It's only 20,000. That is recoverable for Canada if Germany makes some extra mistakes here.
Absolutely, and they are not infallible. We have seen some trades before, but it is up to these two Canadians to hang on. Eraseum finds the first drop. Lee's dropped to about 15,000. That was a 5,000 point miss at the moment. Still a third of the map left to go, but the real hard part is behind them all. There are some 1/6 bursts that if the players aren't ready, they can catch the misses. And Eraseum, the first one to fall. The lead is now down to 8,000 points, but they're still staying ahead. Punish doing everything in their power to keep them ahead in this match. Quarter of the map left to go, still at 99.7. The lead is 61-40. Can they hang on?
There's another doublet here.
Oh, and it catches
there
Eraseum.
It is. It's barely in favor of Canada, just a couple of thousand points.
They cannot afford to lose any accuracy. There it goes. Verdun finds a massive rush of 200s. The lead swings back to Germany, and the miss as well.
This is exactly what Germany have been looking for. They need that break point, and they could get it now.
Oh, but Eraseum finding a massive drop, but Verdun trades it back. Nobody wants to hold on to this lead at the moment. It is still 13,000 points in favor of Germany between all of the trades between these two impressive countries. Germany manages to find the break point and ties it up 2-2.
A 990k from Punish once again. Incredible performance from them as a solo player here. Everyone else doing very well too, all S ranks, and creating a really good battle there between the two of them. But Germany managed to get that breakpoint off of Canada, tying it back up 2-2. They lost the breakpoint on their first pick, but here we are once again. Everything's looking as it should. And we're over to Germany now to try get another point on their side, making it 3-2.
I mean, that map, Punish needed every single one of that 990,000 point score. That could have gone either way. kudos to Erasium and Verdun. That was a very nip and tuck battle going on in that lower half of the lobby. And God, I wish every map was like this for every match, because I'd lose years off my life trying to cast all of that.
Absolutely. That's what makes it really fun.
Absolutely. With one key, no lead is safe. It just takes one bad section to just completely turn a map on its head. And with Germany up to pick, I mean, Masamune worked out incredibly in their favor. Dopamine is basically around that same level of difficulty. The only Joke 1 Rice map in this pool does have that elevated OD. And sure enough, they're going to go for it.
We're doing really good at guessing Germany's picks.
I mean, the only
all the picks so far.
question mark so far has been Hybrid 2, but I think that was more of an exploratory pick. So I mean, better to do that at the beginning of the match than halfway through.
For sure.
And now that they're warmed up, I mean, that opens up Angel Dust as well if they really wanted to avoid Ghost there. And the speed pick is also open to them. So
see, I was gonna say it might be kind of risky, but I think Ghost could be a Germany favored pick.
Yeah.
Because if Punish can just... Because I know that Punish does pretty well on those sorts of maps as well. If the other player in Germany can just kind of mash through it and kind of like get a decent score, while Punish gets one of their really incredible high accuracy scores, I think that could be like a score that Canada could output. I mean, I'm very happy to be proven wrong, but I do think that would be a Germany favourite pick.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see who decides to tempt fate on that pick.
For sure.
Definitely a very risky one. Based on the nature.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm. Could get ignored. I mean, honestly, they can go speed into Rice 1, and I think that basically exhausts all the picks, but regardless, gotta deal with Dopamine first. Who will experience the rush at the end of this chart? The only Joke 1 Rice pick, OD 9.5, just under 2 minutes, so not allowed to really futz around in terms of the precision, and that no-name boy gonna be the first one to find the drop. Gonna give Canada a bit of a cushion to work with. Dimple's army has checked back in for Canada, so two experienced one key players on the side of Canada looking to try and take yet another breakpoint in this match. And with that no-name boy finding another drop, everybody else approaching that 400 combo cap's gonna start doing significant portions of damage as they make it through relatively unscathed.
Yeah, the even flip patterning is not tripping up Canada at all. So you'll be catching that no-name boy out a bit more though, struggling a lot more in the accuracy. We have some 1-3 in this map as well, but everyone seems to be handling it decently okay. Missed from Sunny though, but very, very clean, keeping the accuracy high.
Yeah, they were rivaling Punish in terms of overall accuracy, but that miss is going to give the advantage over to Punish. Does chip away at the lead just a little bit here, but it is 120,000 points. Another trade between that no-name boy and Sunny, but the trades right now at the moment favor Canada, even with Dimples finding the drop here. Approaching the last third of the chart, it would take a massive collapse at this point for Canada to give the point back over. But with that being said, we have seen massive swings before, so I don't want to call it done just yet, but I think they've done just enough to see themselves over the line at this point. And with that miss from that no-name boy, that's probably the final nail in the coffin on this pick. Canada going to be able to secure a breakpoint on the Rice pool, pinch those picks from Germany even tighter. And they were able to withstand that OD 9.5, the difficulty not too much for them, as they secure their third point to make it 2-3 here.
Yeah, this is looking very scary for Germany now. Because Canada are onto their pick now, and they're 1 point away from match point. So that's what they're aiming to do. Germany really need to try and get that breakpoint back in their favour once again and tie this up. They have managed to do it, but they absolutely have to do it again. But I have a feeling that Canada are, as they have just said, going to go for Hybrid 3, which is probably the hardest of them all.
Mm-hmm. I was going to go into this long tirade about how maybe at this point, with Canada having the breakpoint in the pocket, they could go for something like Ghost, but no, this is probably the smarter pick to go
Get
into
to that
step-by-step.
breakpoint first and then make your risky picks.
Yeah. This is, as we've mentioned, the hardest hybrid in this pool. It is a culmination of Hybrid 1 and Hybrid 2 basically mashed together. It is the longest pick of that pool as well by a considerable margin. It feels like it stretches on for a considerable amount of time. And really, for Canada, it's just weathering the storm of some of those sections where 1/8 bursts just seem to pop up randomly. If they can weather some of the misses there and maybe catch Germany sleeping on some of those patterns, they can really establish a foothold that might be insurmountable.
Yeah, even the rice stuff of this map can be kind of tricky. Even if it doesn't use snapping changes, there's a couple of sections where it gets very heavy into the even flip patterning, which can be very easy to misread, especially in one key. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 6, and that's also mixed in with all of the common odd flip patterns. So let's see how it goes. Canada did prove to us that they were pretty good at that, so let's see. As we did see, Germany did win on the even flip pattern map, Rice 2. So maybe this is the hybrid they actually have the best chance on.
Potentially. We've been surprised before in this match already. Some dynamics that we thought would occur have been complete 180s in terms of expectations. So open to any and all outcomes as Eraseum finds the first and second drops of this chart in the lobby. The 1/8 catching them out as well. Not the best of starts for them, but this is a very long chart. There is plenty of room for a comeback. They just need to stabilize it a little bit, keep those misses to an absolute minimum, take the 200s where they come, but chain misses probably not going to be allowed. Going to need to start picking up the pace here as Dimples actually holding on to the strongest start in this lobby. 99.9% accuracy through that introduction. Gonna give Canada a strong start. 40,000 points to kick things off here.
Yeah, I think this is the strongest that we've seen Canada so far. And it's incredible considering this is probably one of the hardest maps off the pool. Dimples Army does drop that combo, keeping the accuracy pretty high though. Still just at 99. Punish and Sunny on the top half. Still...
That was a tactical curse. You didn't even get to finish that one, and the entire lobby has reset. Nobody has any semblance of combo to work with at the moment. Sunny and Eraseum trading once again. Eraseum coming up worse for wear. A lot of 50s through that section. The doublets into the LNs. Very easy to spike numerous bad judgments through it. And Canada keeps themselves ahead going into the break here. Second, third of the map upcoming. 82,000 points to the good at the moment.
Yeah, things are looking really good for Canada though. Punish still the highest score in the lobby though, so if Canada start picking up a lot of mistakes, it is possible that Germany could potentially start making a comeback, but 86,000 points is going to be a very big comeback to make.
Oh, and with Punish finding the drop in the calmer section of this chart by comparison to the rest of what goes on, not going to help the efforts of Germany. Needs to get back up at that point to combo cap. Dimples actually above that as well, going to help Canada stretch this advantage. Every accuracy drop from Germany now being punished, pardon the pun, as Eraseum finds yet another drop, and the lead grows even further for the Canadians. 130,000 points, basically doubling their advantage going into the last third of the chart, as Sunny stabilizes as well, ready to lend their support to Dimples above that 400 combo cap, as Punish and Dimples find the trade between each other, and now Sunny takes up the mantle as Eraseum finds yet another drop. Last quarter of the map upcoming, and I don't know about you, Teezel, but I think this one might be done and dusted here.
I think so, yeah. As you say, a quarter of the map left, but it's 170,000 or so points. Like, making a comeback from that, especially in Mania, it's just not really doable, unfortunately. Maybe if this was at the very beginning of the map, but here we are on the outro, probably one of the most relaxed sections, a couple of bursts here and there, and the trade, it's continuing on, lots of misses coming out. And it's going in favor of Canada even more, 185,000 now.
Yeah, just the mental stamina required to maintain consistency on this map is very high. I mentioned it during the showcase that if you broke this map up into quarters, everybody can get a 990k on this. But putting all of that together into one clean run is such a tall ask, as we see the double triplet gallop miss at the end from Erasium and Dimples, the trolliest part of that map.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Canada makes it a match point situation, 2-4 now, with Germany up to pick. And
fortunately for Germany, they have the first pick here, so they can hopefully get up to 3 points, and then they have to really go for their breakpoint in Canada's final pick.
And the good thing is that
take one at a time.
Right, take it one at a time. You got to get through your pick first. The good thing is no more LNs, no more hybrids. So Canada out of their comfort zone, essentially. But what do you go for? Do you go for the stamina pick and Angel Dust? Do you go for arguably the most 50-50 pick in this pool in Ghost? Or do you go for that speed pick and kind of just put all your eggs in that punish basket, knowing that they're probably going to like 996k that just out of habit?
Yeah, for sure. It's just a question of how would Canada do on that, but we might not get to see that as Germany decides to go for Angel Dust, which is race 1, our stream map.
So this is another one of those picks where, again, you kind of put your eggs in that top left-hand corner of the screen. You know that that punish has the ability to basically double-digit 300 this. It's just a matter of can the support in either Erasium or that no-name boy, whoever decides to pick up the mantle, can they lend the supporting score? And can they catch Sunny and Dimples on a couple of misses? We have seen it happen before. The transitions out of those 1/8 put you on the wrong hand at the ending of those streams. It is very easy to misinterpret where some of those streams end, and maintaining that 170 BPM 1/4 stream is very hard, even for the best of players sometimes. It just takes one moment to ruin an entire stream. You're just finding 200s and hundreds all over the place, and sometimes you don't even realize it.
Yeah, this one is, in a way, the stream maps can also just feel so risky in that sense as well. All it takes is kind of accidentally not raising the key slightly fast enough, and then you're completely key locked and you're out of it altogether.
Right.
And when you double the players per team from 1 to 2, it increases the chances of that so significantly as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables to take into consideration on a pick like this. It is so volatile, despite it being so long, and despite it being so, dare I say, simple. You're not having to deal with awkward snaps. You're not having to deal with LNs for the most part. I think there's like 1 or 2 in this.
You could argue it's kind of like the purest form of 1 key.
Yes. This is just a raw skill check at the end of the day. Can you hold on to the BPM? Can you hold on to those transitions? The first 1/8 comes through. Nobody gets caught out. Great starts all across the board. Give or take a couple of tenths of accuracy, but Erasium finding the first drop here. Not traded back by any of the Canadians.
Yeah, Canada's accuracy is looking really good. Punish is looking insane. Erasium struggling a wee bit more, but still at a good position.
Yeah, the name of the game is the top 2, Sunny and Punish, going to try and go for accuracy scores. Bottom 2, Erasium and Verdun, gonna go for combo and trying to avoid the misses if at all possible. And right now the battle is being won by Verdun over Erasium. It is a full 2% gap between the two of them, but we are still in the first half. These streams drag on for so long. And similar to LM2, where we have this doublet section, won't be as crushed, but we do get into it. And it is so easy to misinterpret some of these streams as they begin to come through. You can get wrong-footed on some of these sections, but everybody making it through. The LM's not catching anybody out. Going into the last third of the chart, 32,000 points in favor of the Canadians. They need to hold on. They cannot afford to find any drops this late on, lest Germany mount one of the greatest comebacks we have seen this weekend so far.
Things aren't looking good for Canada. They're still holding very, very strong. Very, very good mid-range 99s. Eracium being the first player to miss in these streams. Recovering very, very quickly though. It's still possible for Canada to find a really big note lock here. And drop that 40,000 score lead.
Oh, there's a trade! There was the opportunity! There was the opportunity for Germany to start clawing back some of this lead, but with the even trade, Sunny neutralizing Punish, despite being 0.2% behind, it is still 47,000 points in favor of the Canadians. Germany doing everything in their power to try and do something, but the score not going their way. 900,000 points, last couple of bursts, and Canada secure their 5th point to knock Germany out of the 1K World Cup by a score of 5-2. A V1 double S from Punish, 998,000 points. Not enough at the end of the day. Sunny with the 992K as well. Great scores from everybody across the board, but there has to be a winner at the end of the day, and it is going to be the North Americans. They make it through to the semifinals.
Yeah, congratulations to 99% Canadian there. Yeah, really coming in. That only a 3-person team as well. Really giving it their all, and continuing on through the losers bracket. Going to be facing the loser of Japan versus USB later on this weekend. And it feels very, very strange to be saying goodbye to Germany this early in the tournament, because they have some very, very good players on that team. So absolutely. I feel like if they had some other opportunities here and there, they could be getting much further, but that's the way it goes. And maybe if we do something like this next year or the year after, we can see them come back way stronger, because I know they have so much potential.
For sure. But with that being said, that will do it for this block of 1 match. We'll take a pretty lengthy break, about 18 hours before we get our first double header of the weekend, and really kick off these last couple of matches. We have Japan taking on United States B, and Peru taking on the Italian Plumbers, or just Italy, for simplicity's sake. And then we round out the weekend with a 3-match block, 16, 17, and 18 UTC. The rest of the bracket going up against each other. So lots to look forward to, but for right now, we're going to call it a bit of a day. We'll see you guys in the Sunday UTC times. Teezel, you have anything else left to add?
No, nothing else. Just we've got more exciting stuff coming, so make sure to tune in at those times and see more 1K World Cup action.
Alrighty, so until then, we'll catch you guys later.